Hey, Army veterans, welcome to Wednesday. Normally split slate day, but today we're not going to deal with the early. It's only got two games on it, so we're going to jump right into the main and talk some MLB DFS, and we're going to make it easy for you. That's the whole point. We're going to cut all of the fluff off the slate, leave you left with what you should be focused on and what you should be taking big chunks of throughout the day in your daily fantasy baseball lineups. I'm your buddy Choppadong, of course, always brought to you by the one, the only, DFSArmy.com, one-stop shopping, all things daily fantasy sports. And we've got our PGA content out. NASCAR's coming this weekend. We've got a lot of playoff hockey and playoff basketball on the site. So if you want to play more than just baseball, jump in. The water's fine. VIP program, use the coupon code CHOP, CHOP. Get that 20% off discount. And let's rock and roll with some baseball today. I always start off with pictures. Sometimes I show you the Fanduel stuff. It's prettier. I like blue. This is green, whatever. The point is, the only thing that changes are the projections. The stats and stuff do not change. So if I dive into the Draftkings Pictures tab and kick off all of those early numbers, this is what you do at the DFS Army with the research tool, right? Just kick off all of those early games, slide over here, sort by K-score, bang. There's your pitchers today, right here. The green guys, right? These are the people. Now, I might use some ownership projections and whatnot and play the highly owned pitchers, the top, say, 5 pitchers, maybe anyone owned over about 10% or so. The reason why is, yeah, you miss a Spencer Turnbull, big deal. He didn't win a lot of GPPs last night. He would have, but he didn't because he just wasn't highly owned enough. Nobody took a real chance on him. Somebody's always going to do that maybe in the nickels or in the quarters or something like that when you're trying to beat 25 to 125,000 people. Nut lineups prevail there, and he certainly would have been in the nut lineup, I would imagine. But it's not make or break, especially for smaller entry GPPs, league play, cash games. Certainly didn't hurt you at all in a cash game. So we don't need to sweat that stuff. Don't waste bullets, man. Don't take shots on stuff that has no chance at panning out. Hone in on stuff that does have a chance, and those lower owned pitchers typically don't these days. So avoid them. Just knock them off your list. Don't even use them. That would be my recommendation to you. It's not perfect theory, but it's odds on theory, and that's kind of what we're trying to do is trim the fat off the slate. What we're left with is like your Corbin Burns, Scherzers. I don't know. Gilbert's probably on a small sample size. Ohtani, if he pitches. Morton, Means, Trevor Rogers. These guys all have decent strikeout matchups tonight. And these guys, there's a little bit of low and a little bit of high. And you've got a little bit of everything in between. And on DraftKings, where you're taking 2 pitchers, it makes a ton of sense to take a couple of these different guys. Let your optimizers mix them and match them around whatever stacks you key on tonight and make those winning lineups happen. But you want to focus on these guys. These guys down in here are not great pitchers. They're not in a good matchup. Yeah, Kershaw's expensive, but he's way down here. Today, he's probably overpriced. That's what that's telling you. He's facing a team that doesn't tend to strike out, or his own strikeout numbers are dipping. I don't know. I don't need to look at that kind of stuff, right? I'm not looking for those outliers. Now, if he's 35% owned, I'll throw him in my pool because he's in there for a reason. I'm going to let a lot of you other nerds do my hunting for me as well. I'm using every resource that I possibly can to cut my own workload so that I can go do other stuff like walk my dog, take my kids to the playground, drink a beer, whatever the heck it is that I want to do. I'm exploiting everybody else's research at the same time as creating my own. That's how you win in daily fantasy sports. It's also how you discover things, get ahead of the curve, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if these are your main pitchers, these 5, 6, 7 guys, then we can find our stacks using the same page. I have no idea why I just did that. That was weird. Thanks for jumping around on me, Mr. Mouse. This thing maybe needs to visit the backside of a brick wall. But while we're reloading again, damn, here we go. That just slows us down, but to be honest with you, the process doesn't take long enough that this really bothers me. I just dive back into the pitchers. I make sure that I knock those low numbers off again, which I obviously have to start all over and do this. Oh no, the time it's taking me is just killing me. So once I've got these guys knocked down, I slide on over. W score, sort descending order, bada bing, bada boom. Now that these big W scores, WOBAs, are up against the top, I'm targeting pitchers that have high WOBAs against. They tend to struggle. They give up hits. They give up doubles. They give up home runs, right? If I want to verify, I can come over here and look at home run per 9, whips, Sierras, and generally the red dudes are all coming to the top, so it definitely works. These are your stack candidates. Slide back over here to the teams and take the opponents. Philly, Boston, Atlanta, LA, Seattle, Houston, Toronto, Washington. These guys are all in pretty darn good spots. They've got offenses that do some damage, and they've got pitchers that allow some damage. Green light, load them up, rock and roll. These are the guys you should be focused on. You might consult our leverage stacking tool and look for those stacks that are gaining the most leverage and key on them. But at least you've got a head start. I write these down on a notebook, on a separate notebook each and every day. And I remember them for later, 3, 4, 5 o'clock when I start building my lineups more seriously. This is just entry level research. This is just trimming the fluff off so that I don't need to worry about 80% of the slate. 20% of everything does 80% of your work anyway. Doesn't matter if that's life or work or your coworker next to you, your wife in bed. It doesn't matter what it is. 80% of your work is completed by 20% of the effort. 80% of your results are completed by 20%. So don't put in more work than you have to. Come back over here, Draftkings hitters. We need to knock off those slates. I'll just show you this. It doesn't matter that much to me very often because I've already found all those stacks. All I'm going to do is sort by W score again. Bring all these guys to the top and make sure that some of those same teams are mentioned at the top. Teams like Texas, New York. Wow, they are all over the place. Now there's a very small sample size in that picture. But now we're getting what? Boston's in there quite a bit. We should be seeing some Philly, right? These are names that I mentioned before in that previous stacking side of the pitchers tab, right? So it verifies. If you want, you can pick out who has individually the highest W scores, and you can start slapping likes, loves, adores, boosts in your optimizers, whatever, on those guys. Or you can just narrow it down to the hottest 34 hitters in baseball. Number changes every day. Today, the magic number is 34. Scroll down. Oh, I got to do it again. Let me show you how I do it. Really simple. Once again, cut down, click those guys off. I mean, if there isn't an easier tool to manipulate, I don't know what it is out there in the world. Let's just come down here to numbers filters. Let's go greater than 399. Chop the crap out of there. And I'm using 7-day numbers because they are going to be the hottest hitters that are maybe still got some room in their 10-day hitting streak. Maybe they've got a few days left that I can capitalize on. They may go cold tonight. I don't know. I do know this. I had 6 bombs off of it last night, off a list of about 27 players. 1 and 4 ain't a bad shot. When you cut down a list of however many hundred batters are in a line or in the majors, and you cut it down to 27 and you pick up 6 or 7 bombs, I mean, you did okay, right? The list works. Use the list. But now that I've got this trimmed down to the 34 names, see how short that list is now? These are the hottest hitters in baseball. I take the team and go ascending order just for alphabetization, or however you'd pronounce that damn word. Don't spell that on a Scrabble board. I'm going to adore all of these guys and boost them in my optimizer. Every one of them. Every one of them. I've noticed that in our optimizer at dfsarmy.com, about 4 to 4.1x fantasy points per dollar is the number. So I'm going to adjust their numbers and make these 30, 35 guys all about a 4 to 4.1x. They're going to jump to the top. The optimizer is going to use more of them than not. And I'm going to get some crazy awesome one-offs. And I'm going to get some, these guys are going to be in the key parts of my stacks when I build stacks. And I don't need to do any work anymore because I just told the optimizer what the hell to do. Your optimizer is great. It's just a blind machine. It's only as good as the information you feed it. You got to feed it quality information. If you feed it quality information and tell it to spit out the correct story, it's going to build you great lineups. If you don't know how to use those things, you need some help. You need to come into dfsarmy.com and actually get some coaching. The coaches are here to help you. You ask questions. If you're a tools only guy, great. Enjoy. Have fun trying to figure this crap out on your own. But if you want some questions answered, you've got to come in and you've got to get access to the coaches. The upgrade from VIP, from a light member is super, super simple. It's a quick email to support@dfsarmy.com or whatever. Ask the admin team to upgrade you. Boom, you're in minutes. Super, super simple. Coupon code CHOP probably applies there too. Why not discount that another 10%? Why pay full price? But now that we've got this stuff loaded up, I'm looking at a couple of Atlanta guys, a couple of Boston guys. Boston, keep saying it that way. Cincinnati, Cleveland, Detroit. 3 Houston guys are still hot. 4 Dodgers have suddenly gotten hot. Fine, use them all. 2 Oakland guys. Aaron Judge is still on that list. That's interesting. 4 Tampa Bay guys. Interesting. Where are the White Sox? Maybe they're on an early slate. Washington, Toronto. These are hot hitters. When they're facing bad pitchers, roll with the hot bats. Okay? These are just simple ways. But now you've seen the entire list. These are guys that are hitting over 400 WOBA on a short sample and are hitting over 200 ISO on a short sample. Some of these guys are monsters, like Wilson Contreras or William Contreras right now, on small sample size of bats of 40 at bats over 14 days. But over the last 7 days, 550 and 530. Hello. Why would you not want that bomb master in your lineup, right? 566 for who? Jose Ramirez. Is that Jose Ramirez or is it Moustakas? Looks like it's Moustakas. And a 333 ISO. These are monster numbers, and they need to be in your, regardless of projections, unless they're facing Garrett Cole or somebody else, which actually makes them a really good one-off play because they can hit a bomb off anybody when they're swinging a hot bat. That's the whole point. Take the hot bats, take the quality stacks, take the quality high strikeout pitchers, load them up in your lineups, let the machines do the rest of the work, maybe tell your own little story here or there, but largely speaking, this is going to get you where you want to go. You can use it for cash games. Come and see me. I'll show you how. Put that out to my VIPs yesterday. You can use it in GPPs. You can use it in single entry. You can use it in single entry is easy. You make 4 or 5 lineups. Pick your favorite. You can use it in 20 max, 150 MME type stuff. Do it anywhere. It works. It's universal. And this works in every sport. I've done this for hockey. I've done this for football. I've done this for basketball. I've done this in various forms. If you follow, like, and subscribe to my channel, you get every piece of content that I drop out there for the public. And I would encourage you, comment. I'll probably talk to you. I'll probably comment back. Come and see me out on Twitter. But most importantly, come and see me inside DFSArmy.com. Super easy. 10 minutes in, out. What are we at? 11 minutes? May 19th, Wednesday, normally a split slate day. I could have easily done this with the Mr. Funky Mouse snafu. I could have done this on both slates had we had 2 split slate games. This is just not hard when you know how to make things simple. Come inside, let me help you. I'm Choppadong, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.